What's up, guys? I'm here with super smart Kyle, who has much better goggles than I have. What's with that, man?
Just to make sure that I'm protected. I have to work with students using acids, and it's entertaining.
Yeah? Super smart Kyle. All right. So what are we doing today, super smart Kyle?
So we're showing a couple differences between what science would be like if we didn't know what to expect from experiments and when we do know what to expect. The idea being you can have really nasty surprises if you aren't prepared properly, if you weren't able to rely on the future being like the past and knowing what to expect from chemical reactions, and hear what we expect when we know the conditions of something so that we can control them.
Right. So you're a total nerd.
A little bit.
Right.
A geek. I have a job and friends.
Good,
so.
okay. So the idea is that with the Christian worldview, with the biblical worldview, we can actually have a basis for science, right?
Exactly.
Nature is uniform, it's law-like, we have past experiences, and based upon those past experiences, we can project into the future what will be the case, right?
Exactly.
That's the idea. And so right now we have some bottles of soda, and we have some baking soda, and we have a spoon and some strips. And what are these for? These look like they have carpet on them. Is that carpet?
No, it's not carpet. It's probably a loose pack polymer that contains a couple reagents, pH indicators and chlorine indicators, some other reactants.
Right, carpet. Okay, so these are pH strips. Okay, so what are we going to do?
So what we're looking at is an example of what happens when you have kind of a surprise reaction, and then what happens when you have sort of a controlled reaction.
Okay.
Here we've already pre-boiled this so that this soda doesn't have any more carbonation in it, because that's the first step to actually neutralizing it. So showing what happens
if you heat
between
up
acids and
soda,
bases.
it takes the bubbles out?
It does.
No more bubbles.
That's right. They're all gone.
This says caffeine on it.
It does.
Is that?
That's the most important active ingredient of every day.
Okay, oh, very good. Super smart Kyle. Okay, super smart Kyle, what's next?
So now we're going to demonstrate what science would be like when we were trying to do reactions if we didn't know what to expect all the time. So I'm going to need you to carefully add a few of these to one of your bottles.
Okay.
And then we'll add a few of these to the others.
Don't be nice, Kyle.
That's right. We have a few more here.
There you go. All right, so we got the diet soda, and we got the Mentos, which is called the what?
This is what's going to be our surface area for removing
the fresh maker.
No? Okay. Well, I'll take your word for it. This is what's going to give us the surface area to release the carbonation in a slightly rapid fashion.
Okay.
That's the theory.
It's going to basically blow up.
That's the yes.
All right, ready? So Mentos.
See, if science was unpredictable, all of our experiments would look like this, and, well, we'd sort of have a mess on our hands.
So the idea is that if nature wasn't uniform, if the universe was unpredictable and chaos, you'd never know what experiment's going to do what.
No, you have to be able to understand what's going to be produced from your experiment so that you know how to control the reactions.
Okay, so let's try one and seal.
This one's going to make a mess.
Should I expect anything?
It might overcome the bottle, but I don't know that I've seen a single one overcome the bottle.
Well, how do you do it? Is it bottom up, right? And you drop it, right? And launch it? Okay.
All right, now, when we go to do this in a more controlled fashion so that we know what to expect, we start by characterizing our system. In this case, we boil off a lot of our material so that we have no more carbonate salts. We check and see, all right, we're still very low on the pH scale, below what this will actually read. The idea is, because this is a triprotic acid, we want to be adding in something to neutralize it and evolve some CO2 gas. Because a lot of that carbonate salt is already gone, there's some gas evolution.
Did you say evolution?
Yes.
Yeah, we don't
but
believe
not,
in that here, Kyle.
Not in the speciation sense. This is in the sense of producing a new chemical species from another existing chemical species.
Okay.
Here we should be past the point where we're under acidic conditions. We should have enough base present to neutralize it.
Enough base present as opposed to treble?
Would be if you were listening to some sort of a hipster song, but in this case, we're looking for acids and Lewis acids and bases. So there we see a significant color change.
You married, Kyle?
I am. People wonder how, but even scientists can get girls sometimes. So here we are, we're a little bit above neutral pH.
Okay.
Look at there.
All right.
So this is what happens when we understand the conditions going into a system.
Okay. So the idea is when you walk into your laboratory as a scientist, because you're super smart, Kyle, and you do these things, you actually didn't have to go out to purchase one of these.
No, I own this. Yeah.
Yes.
There are a couple stains here and there that are authentic.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
So when you walk into your laboratory and you start to do experiments, do you walk into the laboratory going, hey, we don't know, like we don't know what's going to happen?
That's how accidents happen, and that's how we learn how emergency showers work. So that's a bad idea.
Right. So so describe that as a scientist, as a Christian. How does the biblical worldview provide a basis for everything that you do and everything that you teach?
Because we understand the ideas of things like the principle of induction, we can assume that the future will be as the past and that chemical reactions will be governed by specific behaviors, by specific laws. We are able to move forward and understand new things building on each of the principles that we've learned. And that's very much the way that we actually teach a lot of these labs if they're set up properly, so that students can build on the fundamental concepts in order to build a more rounded understanding of different separations methods, different things that are combined, and one of the things that I tell them frequently is beginning to sort of look into some of those invisible attributes that hold together the world.
So when you think about, say, an atheistic framework, atheist professors and scientists, colleagues, right? When they walk into a laboratory, they have a particular framework of the world. They believe the world is random.
They do.
Time and chance acting on matter, nothing immaterial. They don't believe in God, who personally governs everything. When you think about that worldview, how should that impact how they walk into the laboratory, if they really believe that and lived like it?
I think in a lot of regards they're somewhat foolish for obeying the laws to begin with, because they don't believe in an ultimate accountability, so they don't believe in anything that should resemble consistency in the lab, and I really don't understand how they cross that bridge of not being able to justify the principle of induction and using it every day. So at the end of the day, these guys like to go home and, I don't know, drink whiskey and smoke cigars or something and pretend to not think about the fact that they cannot justify the very science that they're using to be their authority on truth.
Right on. Very good. What's your favorite movie, Kyle?
Spaceballs.
Makes sense.
Next week with Jeff Durbin, the late night show with the unpopular opinion. Tuesday, only on Facebook Live.